We raise pigs on our homestead, and these guys are not picky eaters. They love grass, they love grain, and they absolutely love kitchen scraps. I planted this entire food plot for them to save money on feed, but I may have just found the one thing that these pigs will not eat. Last year I planted this food plot for our pigs. It's a mixture of ryegrass and turnips, and it has done extremely well. Even with our droughts we've been having the last month or two, it's been growing pretty well. There's a couple dry spots that aren't doing great, but for the most part I would say it's growing very well. The turnips are getting pretty big. The main reason why I planted this food plot is for our pigs, so that way we can reduce our feed costs and not have to feed them so much grain. We have a specific breed of pig, which is the Idaho pasture pig, that doesn't require as much grain. They eat a lot more grass. They'll forage for their diets a lot more than other pigs. And I'm pretty happy with this food plot. I'm happy with how it turned out. But now that these turnips are getting bigger, I wanted to pull a couple, see how the pigs like them, and see if this is going to be a success. Those are some really good looking turnips. I would say that's probably the peak. I'm not too sure. They might get a little bigger. We have some small ones. We have some big ones. So I'm excited to see if these pigs are going to eat this right up. What I was hoping for this food plot was to put them more towards the late fall, early winter, so that they could graze it and get a really good forage and not have to feed so much grain in that time, because when they're off of grass, I do have to up the intake of grain. I was hoping that they would come up, they would nip the tops of these, they would eat all this, and then later in the season, they would eat the turnips and finally actually dig into the ground and root a little bit. That may not be the case. I guess we won't know until we try. Hey, pigs. Come on, pigs. Come on. Come on, Samson. Come here, buddy. There you go, Samson. There's a turnip. There's a turnip. Will you eat the green? You don't like it, buddy? Just want scratches, huh? Well, Samson isn't having it. He just wants to lay there. He just wants some scratches. So let's go see if Delilah likes it, if the younger pigs like it. Hey, pig. Hey there, Marigold. Will you eat that? Will you eat that? Here. Here. Will you eat that? You eat literally everything. How about you, Bacon? Here, Bacon. Will you eat that? Will you eat that? I don't know what it is about the turnips. For some reason, the pigs aren't liking it. They ate this morning, but they're pigs. I mean, they constantly eat. It doesn't matter what I throw out here for them at what point of the day. They're gonna eat it off the ground. Come here, Samson. Lila, let's try throwing one for them on the ground. Come here, Delilah. Come on, Delilah. Here's some turnips. Here's some snacks. Man, they're just sniffing it, not even biting into it. I'm not too sure what's going on. I know that they're not poisonous to pigs, because all the research I was doing online before I did this, but let's go try the other set of pigs. Hey, pigs. Penelope is round. She's looking pretty pregnant now. Hey there, pigs. Hey there, pigs. Hey, look at that. Turnip. Turnip. Look at that. Turnips. Not me. Man, they have no interest in these turnips. Here. Nothing. They're like, where the heck is my food? I can't believe these pigs aren't enjoying these turnips. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to split into these a little bit, break them open, break off the stems, see if maybe they'll eat those. Let's break into this big one here. I'm going to break some of the stem off. Come here, pigs. Come here, pigs. They don't like that. Break the turnip. Let's see if they like it. Here, pigs. man, they're just picking it up with their mouth and dropping it. That is so strange. I think this is the one thing that pigs might not like. And it's one of the things I planted in my food plot. Before I planted my food plot, I did a bunch of research to see what pigs would like in a food plot. And on the list was turnips. Do pigs eat turnips? Says you can feed your pigs pretty much anything. The things you can't feed is shockingly short. We purposely grow turnips, leafy greens, squash, and corn for our pigs. They also willingly gorge themselves on veggies at the end of the season. So based on information like that, I grew that field of forage turnips. And you know, I had heard people growing forage turnips for deer food plots and whatnot, and them enjoying it. I just can't believe it. I'm sure you're probably in shock too, unless maybe you've tried this and your pigs don't eat turnips either, but I was not expecting these pigs to really turn anything down. That's pretty shocking. I mean, they'll eat almost anything I give them. I can't think of anything in our kitchen scraps that they will not eat. I hate to say it, but I think my food plot might have been a failure, and we do still have ryegrass growing in there, so that's good, and I know they eat that up. They love the ryegrass. They may not eat these turnips, and they may just rot in the ground. Man, that's a bit of a bummer. You know, aside from time and money invested in it, I might have had $50 into that whole food plot. I guess I'm just shocked that the pigs aren't eating it. I guess next year we won't be using turnips. We're gonna be growing something else for the pigs. Sometimes on a farm you do things and they don't work out the way you thought they were gonna be. You put in all this work and it just doesn't work out for you. And you know, honestly, that's okay. I'm not upset about it. I'm just happy that it was a learning lesson, and now we know that next year we're not gonna do turnips because the pigs don't go absolutely crazy over them. You know, maybe next year we'll do pumpkins, squash. You know, we'll definitely do more ryegrass. The ryegrass is really nice. They're out on grass, they're still getting grain. The grass is growing. It just rained yesterday really hard, so the drought seems to be over, and I think we're about to get a good week of rain as well. So hopefully things start to grow a little bit better, but we have a whole field of turnips, and I hate to see it go to waste. Sure, we may eat some. I don't really eat turnips, so I mean, we have a whole field of it. It's just Ashlyn and I. There's no way we're gonna eat all of them. So I think what we should do is we should go see if the cows enjoy these. Let's go see if the chickens like them, and let's see if we can't put these things to use. Hey guys, let's test out the greens first. Come here, Oak. Come here, buddy. Ooh, do you like those? Is that yummy? He's eating them. Here, Oak. We eat the actual turnips though. Oh boy. Who knew that the pigs were pickier than the cows? Here, Oak. There's another one, buddy. Oh yeah. Here, Rosie. Rosie's getting her pregnancy test today. I'll have to update you guys on that as well. Here, Rosie. Here, Rosie. Here, Rosie. Well, Oak, you like them. You like them. Look at that. No? Well, it seemed like Oak was eating it for a second, but I don't know if he's gonna want to eat the rest of this. Here, buddy. I mean, the cows at least ate a little bit of it, which is way better than what the pigs did. The pigs wanted nothing to do with it, didn't even open their mouth. Oak at least ate 2 of them, and then he stopped wanting it. How strange. I don't know if it's just the type of turnip that I bought. I'm gonna have to go check the label and see what it is, but I would assume it's all basically the same. When I Googled if cows will eat turnips, it actually says that they effectively graze on turnips, and they'll eat, you know, everything from the leaves down to the stem, down into the root. Finding it a little strange that the pigs and the cows now aren't too fond of it. I mean, you saw that Oak ate a couple of them, but at some point, you know, Rosie didn't want any of it, and Oak stopped at a certain point. So this is so strange. Possibly we bought the wrong turnip, I guess, but we're gonna have to go look at the bag, see what it says. We'll also have to go see if the chickens enjoy the turnips. Obviously it'll take them an extremely long time to eat all that turnip, but it'd be better than nothing. At least something would eat it. I'm gonna step away, grab some more, and see if they nibble into this at all. I'm gonna leave it there. That's the spot where I always feed them, so I'll come back and see if they nibbled on any of it. So here's our seed. This one just says forage turnip. All the research I have seen online says that pigs love it. They'll eat the tops early in the summer, and by wintertime, they'll be eating the roots. So strange that they're not eating it right now. It's kind of strange that the cows aren't enjoying it. The whole point of this was to just send them on it so they would eat it over time as they needed it, and not have to, you know, harvest a crop and, you know, cook it or you know, feed it to them on a platter or anything like that. So hopefully this changes a little bit, but I don't know. If you have any insight into the issues I'm having with, you know, why these pigs aren't eating these turnips, why the cows aren't eating the turnips, and have dealt with this or know possibly why this is happening, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you're wondering what I'm gonna do with this food plot now that I know that it's a bit of a disaster and kind of a failure, well, I'm just gonna leave it. We're still gonna put the pigs on it. We have 2 pigs that are gonna be farrowing in August, Penelope and Delilah. So they're gonna be in the big barn, which is gonna be attached to that food plot. So we're just gonna let them roam on it and see what happens. Maybe later in the year when they're on it constantly, they're gonna be more interested in eating it. I don't know, we'll have to see, but that's the plan. That's how we're gonna handle this. We're just gonna keep moving forward. You know, not everything you try on your homestead or on your farm is gonna work out, especially when you're doing it for the first time. I've never grown turnips for pigs, and honestly, I've never really grown anything. So all the crops we've grown this year is a first for both of us. We're still growing things like our big, huge pumpkin patch right in front of the house, which I did have to fence to keep the chickens out. But sometimes you're gonna fail, and you know, there's no point in getting upset about it because, you know, I learned a lesson today. I learned a lesson that, you know, pigs aren't big fans of turnips, and it's just gonna be a waste of my time and a waste of a crop to grow it for them. We'd be much better off growing something that they just gorge their faces in and just eat up like crazy. I really like to show you guys just the raw, you know, uncut footage of what we experience here on the homestead. Of course, I could probably not tell you that we failed at growing turnips or, you know, that we had lost tons of chickens, but I think it's really important to share with people, you know, the realities of homesteading, and especially the younger generation who may see something on Instagram that looks really appealing because, you know, there's a multi-millionaire who has this beautiful picture perfect homestead, picture perfect animals, and everything works picture perfect for them, and that's just not the case for anybody. There's always going to be problems on a farm, on a homestead. There's always going to be, you know, things to fix, things to throw away and just restart. And that's the kind of content I want to bring to you guys. I don't want to be a, you know, glamorous homesteading channel that shows you all of the good and the fun things. There are going to be some bad things that happen on the homestead and some mistakes that we make. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this is a learning lesson for you. So if you were gonna grow turnips and you maybe saw my food plot video, that now you know that that wasn't a good idea and you should probably grow something different. But I'm curious to hear, you know, all of you that are homesteading or have lived on farms, let me know some of your biggest mistakes in the comments. It'd just be great to hear that, you know, everybody has issues on their homestead, everybody has issues on their farm. So let me know anything that you've handled this year, and thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.